In this video, we're going to talk about how we can validate the form. So before we do that, I want to quickly add some few column questions to it. So let's make it full name, full name, full name, um, name. Then let's add another question. Then let's say this is email. Then let's add another one and say this is what um 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 that's a phone number. Now when you finish this, what are we supposed to do? Let's send the name to top. So this is the first one that we want it to be. So when you hover your cursor, when you click on anywhere, you will see this 6 dots on top. This 6 dot tells you that you can move this question. So you double click, you click and drag it, and you see it comes up. So the names becomes the first. We want to move the email to become the second right here. Then let's take the phone number up. Let's send the phone number up here. Now what are we missing here? We are not missing anything. The full name and the rest are there. Good. Now let's look at something. There is what we call required here, an option. So if you look on the handout, it says that you can add options, set answers to require, and add a description and text if needed. So here, this is what the require means. Required basically means it's compulsory. So if you don't complete this section, there is no way you can submit. Okay, so you click on all these ones, and any field that you think is compulsory, you click and make it required. So this is how you can make a field compulsory. So if you go and you are viewing the form, if you refresh, red asterisks will be on them. That tells you that now if I pick any value, if I pick any date, and I try submit this, it won't submit because you see this is a required field, meaning without answering this. Now if I also put something here and I still submit, it won't go because there is another field. This same won't go because there is another compulsory field. That is what it means. Okay, great. So without you can click on the clear form to clear your response. That's not really needed. So you can select to make all the field required, that is they can be compulsory, that if the person does not fill it, they can't go forward. And not all the questions that you will want to make them compulsory, because there are certain instances where you want the questions to be open one for the person to decide on whether to answer or not. So this is one form of validation. We make the question required, right? So this is the phone number. Sometimes phone numbers, people have different phone numbers. People will start to write the number +233. People write 233 without any. Sometimes if you click on these 3 dots, let's go there. There is description and there is what? Validation. Let's pick them one by one. The first one is what we call description. So description is helper text that let people understand what you are doing. So 054716175. So I'm just using to count. So you can use this 1 2 3. Good. If I go here and I refresh it, see, anytime I come to this question, the phone number, I see this text below. That tells me that there's 3 3 and 4 making 10. So this tells me that I need only 10 in my contact. So that is what we call description. We add descriptions to forms to make them more understandable. Now let's really enforce data validation. Now if I go to the form and I try to fill it with anything, right? Fill it with anything. Probably you didn't see what I did and it came, so just go and type anything, put anything here, and I pick a time. Let's say 2. I pick a time 2:20, 2:20, and I click submit. Okay, this is a compulsory field. This is also what I have to choose, compulsory. Now let's submit this form. It's been submitted, right? The form is being submitted. If I go here, I see that one person has responded. Now what if you let's go and check the email. Look at the email this person added that we allowed him. Is this an email? No, it's not an email. So what it means is we want to make sure that this email, it's actually a proper email, and that is where the validations comes in. So when you come to this three dots and you go to this response validation, it allow us to validate the data that's here. Do you want the email to be a number? No, it's not a number. So click on the first one. It's not a number. The email is a test, so meaning it has to be a test, right? You can put a test. Okay, so the email is always a test. And what does the test contain? So let's say the test must contain this one. It should contain .com. You know, every email address contains .com. So whether Yahoo or whatever and ends with .com. So if the person enter any mail that does not have the word .com in it, then you know that is not an email. So now if there is a mistake, what should the error message be? You can tell the person to check the email again. Okay, so let me start the whole thing. The first one we did was to come here, response validation, select email as a test. It's a test. It must contain a test, and the test is .com. And the error the person will see is what? It's to check the mail again. So that is what we want them to see. Great. So now when we go here and let's click on anywhere to save it, kind of. Let's go here and submit another response. So I have a way of filling all of them, and I say this time I put the same name there. Put correct time 24. All the compulsory fields. See what is happening. They're telling me that check the email again, because I validated that the email must have what? .com, and this one doesn't have the word .com, so it will not come. No matter the long, it won't come unless I put something .com. Now it comes because it knows that the thing has to come in, right? Good. So that is how we validate our email address. Now let's validate this field as well. Okay, let's go here and validate the contact, the phone number. You know, phone number can never be tested. At times people make mistakes, so we go to response validation and say that it has to be a number, and in our case the number has to be between what? So you know, Ghana, our numbers is always 10. So if you want to pick a number, let's say you just want to pick that, you can use the word between. So all the number must be between 9 and what? 10. Good. So the number has to be 9. That is if the person refused to include the 0, so it becomes 9, right? Or you can, a way that you can validate it, so it's between 9 and what? 10. So now if I can just put the word error. So if I go to the side here and I refresh and I put a number here and I go next, I should get an error because the number is not up to, right? 054771617. Once I get there, now they should allow me to go. right? You see now it has come, right? So that is how. Okay, there's still an error. So what it means is it should be between 9 and 10. Okay, so then you can change the range between 9 and, let's say, 15, because there are some instances where foreigners have numbers that are more than that. So you can set the benchmark between 9 and what. Oh, okay, sorry, I made a mistake. This number between 9 and 10 means that it should be just a single number. It shouldn't be it should be a single number. If I put 9, it will work. You get it? That's what it means. But that is not what we want to achieve here. We don't need a number. We are talking about the length. It's the length that we are interested. That the length of the number has to be between what, 9 or 10. So the length, we can set the minimum or the maximum. So I always set the minimum to what, 9. Every telephone number must have a minimum of 9. And if we say error, check again. So now when I go and review this and I click on this will not allow me. It will give me an error. And now if I put my number there, now it will allow me, because it's now more than 9. So in summary, this is how we validate our field with two things. One, using the required, that makes it compulsory. Without selecting it, you can't use it. Second, you can use a helper test to make it readable for people. And last one, you can use response validation. There are so many response validations that you can apply, so I'll let you explore all of them. There are tests. Their length, the test is what we use for email. The length is what we use for the phone number, and the regular expression is deep concept, and I will leave that one for now. So this is how we validate our fields in in Google PowerPoint, Google Forms. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.